You are now listening to Relationship Talk with Juanito.
In today's conversation, Big G and I discuss 5 red flags that men ignore during the dating phase that get them into trouble when it comes to getting into relationships. I hope that you guys learned something from our discussion and enjoy. Welcome to Relationship Talk with Honeypot. I am Coach Juan Robinson, and I got my boy with me again, Big G. Big G, say what's up,
baby? How you doing, people? How you doing, everybody?
All right, so let's go ahead and jump right into it. So this week, one of the things that I typically do, right, is have you ever gone down the space of Reddit?
Sometimes I try not to go into Reddit too much because that's a rabbit hole for some people.
All right, so I go on Reddit and I go down the rabbit hole, right? So they have a space on there for dating advice. And so I'm in that group and I actually was banned from talking.
Wow.
And I think that the reason why I was banned in that group is they said advertising, but I never advertised anything. I just would go in there and give people advice.
Mm-hmm.
And then I asked the moderators what was the reason why I got banned. And they said advertising, and then they muted me from asking them any questions for 30 days. And then I went and looked at who are all the moderators, and it's all coaches.
Oh, okay.
So I think there's a little bit of conspiracy there, but I digress. But I still get like all of the notifications of, like the different type of questions that people are asking. And so I'll go in there and I'll just kind of read through the different scenarios that people are talking about on Reddit. And, the thing is there's a lot of people who don't know what the hell they're doing when it comes to relationships. They're literally guessing. And I look at some of the advice that people give them, and it ranges from good advice to mediocre advice to just horrible advice. And a lot of people are they're giving advice based off of their own situations or their own scenarios or the things that they've seen, heard, or experienced in their own life. But one of the common things that I see is that people, they either don't know red flags or are completely ignoring them, or they, you know, yeah, so they either don't know them or they're ignoring them. And in particularly, guys are habitual ignorers of red flags, and women are as well. But I kind of want to focus on the guys because I think you could probably attest to this, that in you're working with young men, that they tend to just jump right into things without necessarily looking at the whole picture or trying to look down the road. Especially the younger men.
Yes. Younger men, especially today, because the accessibility, it's a problem with accessibility to women. So when you have it too loosely, men of equality don't want the too loosely women. But when accessibility is too hard, they don't get women. So it's that middle ground where you have a woman who is easygoing, she's listening, and you could have a conversation that doesn't entail all the other stuff, like I ain't going to Cheesecake Factory. We don't have too many women in that area now. They either far end of one spectrum, easy, far end of the other spectrum, hard. So when a lot of these guys get out there and there is woman, they tend to overlook that red flag because I'm saying they're that loneliness, and they just trying to say, I just want somebody. We're living in the age That I just want somebody, and I take whatever's that's accessible to me.
Okay, yeah, and I know exactly where you're going with that. So what I did was, sorry, I found that quite interesting. And so what I did was I went on to ChatGPT
Mm-hmm.
and I asked ChatGPT. I used the deep research function on there to
Yeah.
ask it to identify some of the top areas of red flags that men ignore. And it gave me some of the reasons why. And so I want to take you through some of those, right? Because some of them are kind of whatever. But so one of the first one on the list is inconsistent effort, i.e., being the woman being hot and cold. And they said what it looks like is fast intimacy, slow follow up, cancels last minute, big words, thin actions.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
And so when I think about my own dating experience, some of the areas that I experienced when it came to red flags that I ignored, because I was one of those habitual ignorers of red flags. And a lot of my reasons were the reasons that you gave was slow follow up, cancels last minute. And when I tell you cancels last minute, meaning that I've driven across town,
Yeah.
I am sitting in the parking lot waiting for her to come downstairs. I've been
Boy.
there for 10, 15, 20 minutes. And then all of a sudden I get a phone call or I get the text of, hey, can we go next? Can we go another day? And I'm hot. Bro, when I tell you I'm hot, it's like if if I see this woman in front of me, I'm cursing her out like I'm hot. But I see that there's a lot of dudes who are experiencing this. And
Yes.
so if you had a dude that was sitting in front of you right now who had experienced this, is experiencing these type of situations, what would be some advice that you would tell them?
Man, I'm kind of the wrong person for that because I didn't experience it too. Damn, but
But no,
nah,
that actually makes you the right person because you've
true.
experienced it. So
Yeah.
how would you deal with it? And then
Um,
I'll tell you how I would advise somebody to deal with it.
all right. My first thing is if it's habitually happen, yeah, you got to respect yourself, young man. You just got to move on. This because what that means is she doesn't value your time. When a person, male or female, do not value your time, they do not value you because I don't care what nobody says. The most valuable thing it is your time. And if you don't have enough gumption to pick up the phone, hey, before I get there, hey, and be honest about it. With men, you can be honest about it. We're and you have to be honest with men. Because if you're not honest with men, and women tend to know this, and that's why they don't be honest with men, because it's the lead on factor. I can string them along. I can get these extra dates. I can get this time that I want to spend with it if I don't. But unlike women, we like to be told it's straight up. That's how our relationship with the boys are. Hey, you fat, you this, you that. We tell it straight to each other. So
Mhm.
we're okay with straight up. But if she can't pick up a phone and says, "Hey, I'm having reservation," or "I have this, I got to something picked up," and she's allows you on a habitual time. And what I mean by habitual, more than twice.
Mhm.
One time, it's a possibility of something might happen. Second time, we can live. But if it happens more than the third time, you just don't even pay attention. Now, the caveat is if you know that woman, if you understand that is a good woman and things just continuously happens, but you know that that's a good woman and things are just popping up, okay, you stick around a little bit longer. But if it's just somebody you dealing with and you know what I'm saying, she done told you, yeah, we're gonna go, then I'm gonna check up her. Hey, we still down? If I don't get no response, I don't go. And you can put it on me. Hey, when you didn't show up, hey, I checked in with you 2 hours before. I checked in an hour before. You didn't reply. So I'm not wasting my gas. I'm frugal. But young me, I've definitely done that for a couple women, you know what I'm saying? Because I was enamored by the beauty.
Hmm.
And I was just trying to hold on to it because I was like Cedric the Entertainer. I was wishing that this worked out because I got a bad one on my arm. Boy, the boys gonna be mad when they see me with her. Oh.
So I forgot where I was at, but I was somewhere and I had a date set up with this cutie. I drove across town, was on time, waiting for her in the parking lot. 10 minutes, 20 minutes go by, 30 minutes go by.
Hey,
And I'm texting, I'm like, yo, where you at? Blah, blah, blah. About the 20-minute mark, she was like, I'm in the shower. I said, all right, cool. 30 minutes, 40 minutes. Dude, I waited an hour. I was hot. I was pissed. She eventually came out. She didn't see nothing wrong, but I didn't even enjoy the dinner date because I was upset. We never went out again after that because the reason why what I found out was that the reason why she actually didn't want to go. But I was pressing so hard that it was kind of like, yo, this dude ain't gonna leave. So if I was if I was going to advise somebody who's dealing with this, I would tell them first off, look at the situation, right?
yeah,
Is she canceling 5 minutes before, 10 minutes before, 15 minutes before? Okay, that's a whole different scenario of like, hey, you letting me know 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours in advance that, hey, can we reschedule? Right?
yeah,
Because that is more likely for me to believe that something came up and you just need to reschedule. But also with the rescheduling, are you giving me a date? Are you giving me a
yeah,
time? You know, um, are you like, hey, I can't do it today. Something came up. Can we go on Friday? Versus, 15 minutes before, and you're like, I can't do it today. Like you didn't know. All right. So those type of situations, the 4 hours before, you can that's easy reschedule. So 15 minutes before, I would, a little light would be going off in the back, like, I gotta be concerned right now. If you show up and they cancel, don't just go ahead and chalk that one up as a loss, right? Don't be
uh,
me.
don't.
Don't be how I was and just sit there because she's a baddie.
And I got one. Mine's is worse. You know what I'm saying? And it's
Worse.
all
Wait, hold on. It's worse than that. Oh
yeah.
God,
And it's always the little short ones, just the little short
bro.
feisty ones. You know what I'm saying? And had me a little short feisty one. You know what I'm saying? A little long hair. I was Jesse. I played the fool for her, and she would always. Now we would get together and hang out and spend, you know what I'm saying, beautiful time together when it was together. You know what I'm saying? I was just so solely infatuated and enamored with it. It was just crazy. But on hell of a occasions, you know what I'm saying, it'll just we're planning to see each other, be with each other, and I'm so happy, and I show up what I'm doing, and because I'm not trying to play the stalker type, so I'm not trying to blow the phone up. So I show up, nothing, man. At one time, you know what I'm saying, we were supposed to meet, you know what I'm saying, at the gym to go work out, and you know what I'm saying, I was running a little late, and I told her, so she had something else to do, So she said she was coming back. So I was like, all right, are you coming back? She said, yeah. So I get to the gym. I'm waiting in the parking lot. 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50, an hour 10, hour 15. I sent a text message. Hey, in 10 minutes, I'm just going to leave. 10 minutes came and passed, still didn't leave. An hour and 30 minutes, I fell asleep in my car, woke up, texted, hey, are you still coming? And then I realized, man, she ain't coming. She ain't coming. Drove home, still texting, ain't replied to a text message, ain't nothing. And the killing part about it, woke up the next day, hey, what you doing? Didn't acknowledge, and I was a sucker, and I just felt folded like butter again, and just like, okay, I'm not even worried about it. So
Oh, wait, did she hit you with the I was asleep?
no, didn't even address none of my text messages I sent her.
Oh, wow. Wow.
But that's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? It's the beauty of it was the beauty of this woman that just had me like that, you know. And it's just like you try to fight that as a guy, you be trying to fight that because you could tell you be wanting to see the longevity. And it's 55% the beauty of the woman. But talk yourself into saying, and because during that time that y'all do get to spend with each other, and you're sitting there, you're talking, she showed you the signs of, hey, this is not only a beautiful person on the outside, but it's a beautiful person on the inside, and you don't want to lose that time investment that you have into it because you're there, you're listening to it, you're not being egotistical, you're not trying to press her for adult activities. You're being that person that she can talk to. You showing up whenever she calls you to show up, and so you just like, I got this time invested, and I don't want
Oh,
to
so
lose it.
you was a friend zoner.
I thank you. I just realized I was. Thank you. I didn't know I was a friend zone,
Been there.
but I can't say I was a friend zone because
Oh, okay. So you was a friend zoner with benefits.
we're not gonna put it like that because she watches some of the videos too, and I told she gonna one day make the video of me talking about it. So I'm not gonna. It wasn't just benefits. It was she was a beautiful individual in the thing, but I didn't understand the dynamics. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah. So it says that why men choose to ignore this red flag is intermittent reinforcement plus ego.
I I I just exactly what I just said.
Yep.
The intermittent, she would validate sometimes, make you feel like, oh, you King Kong around this bitch, you know?
Yep.
And then just go away. You don't hear from her.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And it's the ego because she's beautiful. It's your kind of woman. So you, like I said, your time, you don't want to let it go.
Yeah. So number two is one that I'm pretty sure at some point every man has heard. Either he's in the friend zone or he's been out on the date with. Number two is all my exes were crazy or narcissistic. It
I
it look
haven't had too many like that.
it looks like how it shows up is during conversations, the situations that present themselves during conversation is always somebody else's fault with little to no self-reflection.
Yes. Oh, well, yeah. Well, since you stated it like that, yes. It's it tends to be like that sometimes. I'm a man of self thought. I let every woman that I deal with know straight up front. I am a hard person to deal with. I'm not really good with a lot of change. I never have been. So if I'm a very routine individual, very routine, and I'm a little ornery at times. I'm moody, and but the way I control my moods is some might in a relationship you with somebody. Some people might think, a woman might think that it's I just get quiet because I know my moods and I play out my scenarios so I won't get angry. So I will have a argument with the person that I'm dealing with, by myself.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
You know what I'm saying? So I won't have that argument with that person
Yeah, it's like you cursing that person out in your head.
in my head. But
Yeah.
sometimes I let it out. I'll be like, man, I told you, and sometimes I play the person, but you ain't hearing what I'm saying. I get tired of doing this all the doggone time. So I go and get it out. So and sometimes that reflects my mood. I am a moody individual, but but outside of that mood, and I try not to get into that mood a lot because I know that I am. And that was my part of the failure in my marriage because I got moody and I just couldn't forgive. And me not, and it was something that happened. I'm not gonna put the thing out here in the open, but it was something that happened, and I knew that I couldn't forgive. But I was trying. Was it a full effort of trying? No, not really, because in actuality, I was hurt. But I didn't let that hurt spill out in a fashion to where you could see that I'm hurting. I sucked that hurt in and became very ornery. Didn't speak, didn't touch, didn't do a lot of stuff. And because I was systematically thinking to myself, I want her to, I'm not gonna do what she did, but I want to hurt her. I wasn't thinking at this time at the time frame, but you know what I'm saying, after counseling and talking to somebody, that's what I was doing. I was hurt and I didn't want to hurt like that, like she hurt me. So I did what I knew would hurt her, and that was distance myself emotionally. And I did. And it lasted, and it lasted, and it lasted until she was like, okay, we're gonna end this. And that was the biggest woosah because I was scared to end it because I was scared of the unknown because I spent at that time I spent over half my life with this one person. And so I was scared of the unknown, but when she said it's time to end, I didn't refute it. I was like, okay, cool.
So what you're saying is you were the crazy ex. So basically what you're saying is you when you're on a date with somebody and they be talking about they got a crazy ex or their ex was narcissistic, you can like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
I can relate to that.
No, but here's the thing. I don't think I was narcissistic or anything. I think because we would talk
Mm-hmm.
and we would have a conversation about stuff. And you know what I'm saying? I would never, you know what I'm saying? I would never get out of line with her. I would never try to make her feel like she was stupid or anything. It was just, I was direct with my answers. So how do you feel? I don't like it. What is it? Wait, it does it. It wasn't a conversation. I was replying. So let me rephrase that. We wouldn't talk. I would reply.
Mm-hmm.
And I cared about her, but I was hurt. But I didn't, like I said, I didn't go into the crazy stuff. You did this to me and blah, 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 blah. No, I didn't do none of that. And I didn't try to make her feel like she was less than something. I went into shutdown mode.
So let me ask you this question. When you're, because one of the things that it says is that the reason why guys ignore these red flags or ignore this particular red flags is because they have, it's either they have a hero complex.
Mhm.
They think that I could be the one to fix
Yep.
it, or that the chemistry that you have with somebody, which chemistry is, most people don't realize it's a cocktail of chemicals that your body releases.
Yeah.
It's dopamine, oxytocin, and serotonin that is released. During that, there's a spark there, or as the younger generation likes to say, there's a vibe. That's
Uh-huh.
basically what's happening. Your body is releasing these different chemicals because there's an attraction or there's a feeling towards that person, and so that chemistry cocktail is released and it overrides your logic
Yeah.
because men are typically logical thinkers, and so when that happens, you're chasing that chemistry cocktail, and it overrides your logic, and also go into fix it mode, right?
Yeah.
Mr. Handyman, Mr. I can fix your relationship, or I can fix you by having a relationship with you, right? But
To the young people out there, or people who not understand the jargon, what he talking about, Mr. Fix It, in the hood, we call it Captain Save.
no, not necessarily. No, I ain't talking about necessarily in that particular scenario. It could be, you know, a woman presents herself to you and you can recognize that there's a lack of accountability for the failures of on her part in the relationship, but
Yeah.
she refuses to take accountability for what she's done, therefore she cannot fix it. And so you in yourself are like, I could be the one to fix it for you.
Yeah.
And so instead of like holding her to the standard of saying, hey, these are, you know, was it that he was crazy, or is that just an excuse that you're using for you not to take accountability for what happened in your relationship? So I give you a perfect example. When I retired from the military, I was when I retired and I was waiting for a job or looking for a job, I was driving for Lyft, and I picked up a young lady, and when I picked her up and she got in the car, she was like on 10 in dealing with her man, right? She was telling me about how he wasn't shit and all of these things, and why would he do these things, and how, you know, he was once in jail and all this other stuff, right? And
Yeah.
I just let her talk, right? But I stopped her and I asked her, I said, it sounds like he has a lot of red flags, and I was like, "Is that a fair assessment?" And she says, "Yes." And I said, "Would would you agree with the statement that some of those red flags that you now are talking about were there in the beginning of the relationship?" And she said, "Yes." I said, "So why would you choose to why would you have chosen to have a relationship with this person if you knew that those red flags existed in the beginning?" And she said, because he was attractive or something along those lines. And I said, so I'm gonna give you some game. But it's not gonna be something that you want to hear. I said, the fact of the matter is that those red flags were there in the beginning, but you still chose to get into a relationship with this individual. I said, so he from the beginning was showing you who he was, and yet you still got into a relationship with him. I said, so you can't blame him for being who he was from the beginning. You can only blame yourself because you chose to ignore that and still get into a relationship with him. And she was like, well, he has so much potential. I said, I don't know what potential he could possibly have, but he was locked up. He had been in jail in his past. So, and now he's going back to jail. Why would you think something differently? But that's just an example. Huh?
Like I always say, it's in the package that she want what she wants, and she wants it in the package that she wanted in. He had the package that she wanted. So she was going to try to put what she wants into that package. He was who he was. He was letting you know, I don't got what you got. I don't got what you want. You know what I'm saying? But if you going to be sleeping in your house, drive your car while you're working on, okay, I'll pretend as long as I can, you know. But like I said, but that goes back to when I tell you about women. Women in their choice making is they think and they say they want to choose somebody with A, B, and C. But the the A, B, and C, when it comes to them, it's not in the what the snap pop the balloon people are above 6 feet, six figures, all this stuff, and they don't want that. So they'll find that 6 figure, all the other little stuff, or how many of the closest they can get to of all the little sixes, and they would try to say, "Hey, I got these. Let's see if I can groom these into him."
Yeah, and
But
so go ahead. Sorry.
but when it doesn't work out, it's never, "Hey, I chose this. I was trying to make this out of this." It's that person.
Mm-hmm.
It's that person. They was wrong. And like you said, he showed you who he was from the jump.
Yeah, and so guys have the same. They find themselves in the same situation when they're chasing the woman with, that it's oftentimes they'll ignore the this type of red flag when she's extremely attractive.
Yeah.
And so it's like, oh, well, I'm a nice guy, so I could be your superhero.
Yeah.
I don't know why that just popped in my head, but yeah. So yeah, that's how they end up getting it into those situations where they ignore where you're asking a woman about her exes and she tells you that they're all crazy or that they're all narcissistic and that doesn't register as a red flag to you
Do
because you're
you
enamored by her beauty or by other things.
now, you know what I'm saying? We've been out here dating, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? As mature men. Uh
Let's rephrase that. We have
I'm not saying
had.
yeah, I'm saying we were. I said we were dating. I didn't say we are.
Okay.
I didn't say I said we were dating out here as mature men. Would you get into a conversation with the woman talking about her ex? Because I when that pops up, I move away from that. I'm not trying to hear the baggage of that. I'm not trying to talk about that. I'm trying to get to know you.
Well, I mean, so all right, so you want to know, you kind of have to ask questions, right? And you're not asking questions like, well, tell me about your exes, right?
Yeah.
You're wanting to know, especially if she's a fairly accomplished woman and she's attractive and she's got a nice figure and you can visually look at her and see that there should be a reason why that you that there should be a reason why you're not here in front of me, right? You should be locked up already,
Yeah.
just from a visual standpoint. So your questioning should and be inquisitive of why that is the case, right? Now, you're not asking about exes, but it could be something as simple as, you know, if I could sit, like one of my favorite questions was if I could sit down and have a conversations with some of the people that you have dated, what would they say about you? Right? And then just asking a simple question like that, it's asking about her, and then you let her tell on herself, right? Because
True.
nine
True.
out of 10 times they have to bring up their ex, right? But it's asked in a way where the question's about her, but it's not about them. But they just by pure nature of conversation, they typically go into these discussions. So another one that's on the list is, and you go laugh at this one: money, mismatch, or entitlement.
That one got me too. But I done got two of the three up there. God damn.
This is one that I think is probably the most, I don't want to say it's the most prevalent, but it is one of the loudest red flags that is, well, it's quite prevalent
From a man
today.
standpoint. From a man standpoint.
No, 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 no. So what I mean is there's a large population of, let me not say that. There's not a large population, but there's a population of women who their expectations from a financial standpoint within a relationship is far beyond what their abilities are in their own personal life. And so I actually saw a video today where a woman said that the man that is going to date her, he has to make at least $100,000 a month because she makes he has to 10x her and she makes 10K a month. Which 10K is good. That's $120,000. But she wants a man who makes $1.2 million dollars. She makes 120K a year. She wants a man that makes $1.2 million dollars a year. And I'm thinking to myself,
Man making that don't deal with women like you.
I mean, she was an attractive woman, right? She was an attractive woman. I could see her being with a man that makes that kind of money. But at the same time, you know, I went to a quick story. F1, the Formula One,
Yeah.
is in town this weekend. So my son is here. He flew in from St. Louis on Tuesday, and we're gonna go up to Austin for the weekend and go to the F1 race.
Yeah.
We went to a car show last night in Austin with all exotic cars, right? So you're talking Lambos, Bugattis, blah blah blah. I don't know. I'm not really into cars like that, so I don't really know. But a whole bunch of extremely expensive cars. They auctioned off a Lamborghini for $300,000 last night. So we're talking around people that got that kind of money. And so as a relationship coach, right? And I hear these different things that women are talking about, and I'm looking and I'm watching the dynamics of people, and it's quite evident of majority of the people who got money, but I'm looking at their wives or their girlfriends, and I'm looking at how they move, how they interact with people, you know, and I would suggest to a woman that well, I'm kind of getting off topic. But what I noticed is that there was a large population of single women who were dressed to impress, who were there looking for these type of men. But the type of men that were there that got that kind of money, they're a lot older. They already have somebody. Or the third thing that I noticed is that you as the woman, you're second or third on his list of priorities, right? Because it's business, money, and then everything else after that. And so, there's a lot of women who want six figures and above, but aren't really prepared to deal with that kind of lifestyle, right?
No, I take it as when I hear women say stuff like that, because women understand a man who's out there getting it like that, they know that this man here is probably not going to be the most attentive man to me with my personal needs. Uh, don't hit me when I say this, but it's just how I feel. They want that man like that because they can get in, and within a few years they can say that they're not being loved, they don't feel loved no more. They can get out and they can have a check coming in. That's just how I feel.
So, what you're saying is that they want they're looking for a guy who's already at the finish line so that they can get in, get what they need, and then get out.
Get out.
And so, if you were advising a guy who is looking to date, right, and he's running into these type of women who are, they have unrealistic expectations, right? They want XYZ, but then they don't even have the ability to provide that in their own life. What would you tell them?
Don't laugh at me because I tell guys this all the time. Just wait. She gonna get fed up. Just wait. You know what I'm saying? Because and that might sound bad, but it's the truth. And women will say, "Oh, well, you a hurt man." No, it's not a hurt man. You know, it's when I say that, I'm saying that from the simple fact that you have somebody or you have individuals who try to give you 80%. You're focusing on the 20% that they may or may not have. You're not saying the 20% that they can possibly go get. Or if they get with you, y'all can cover that 20%.
Mm-hmm.
I was talking to this young lady at work the other day. I told her, I said, well, if you're talking about how valuable a woman that you are, if a man gets with you, he already gonna be in the winning circle. So his value gonna increase just by having you, right? If you're such a valuable woman. If you're focusing on what he don't have, and you are the valuable piece, and he doesn't, and that's all that he's missing is something of value. Well, you're the value. You come into his life, and once he got you into his life, he just sprouts out. You are the value, right? If you're saying everything it is, you are the value. Well, you get what you become the value. You get with that person, you nourish him, you water him, you prune him, and watch him sprout. But they don't understand that.
So if I was advising a dude, right, on he's finding that, you know, a lot of the women that he is trying to date are women who are seeking something that's well out of his range, then first off, you might want to look at a different category of women, right? First off, right?
Yeah.
The second thing that I would do is advise them is, hey, if that's the woman that you want to chase, then that means you got to get your bread up.
Yeah.
You got to get your bread up, right? And understand that you want someone who has no problem building with you,
Yes.
right? You want somebody who understands that, hey, if you have a vision and you have a goal for your life and for, you know, your eventual family life, then like you said, if she has that value and she can come in and be an asset to his life and enhance his goal and vision and get him to the place where he thinks or that he wants to be, then the money will come.
The money will come.
The money will come, and it will be something that y'all have built together. So the likelihood of her just picking up her ball and running
Mm-hmm.
gradual drastically decreases because it's something that y'all have built together.
Yeah.
And so, you know, you got to look at it from that dynamic. And it says why men ignore it is that it's a chivalry overreach.
It is because it overreach.
Yeah, it's like, you know, you emptying out the bank account for a $400 meal when that's all you got in the account.
Yeah. Yeah. And I tell young, you know what I'm saying, because you know what I'm saying, I'm the OG at work. Everybody call me you know what I'm saying. I got kind of frustrated a few times. Hey, cause I ain't no goddamn but but I'm going with the flow with it now, and you know what I'm saying, because when I was younger, I sought out older individuals. Um, if you look at my friend group, my friend group is kind of diverse, but I have a lot of friends that are over the age of 60. You know what I'm saying? Well, I say 55 and up, over the age of 55 and up. You know, they're 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 15 years older than me because you know what I'm saying, I saw out counsel one of my best buddies. Um, he was a lifesaver when I was going through my divorce. His name is Mr. Stewart. He's one of my guys here. Older gentleman, wise, kept me grounded. But I tell the young guys this here: a valuable lesson with dealing with women of today. Now, you can, like you just talked about, spitting that forward, chasing this woman over here. and she's let you, if she's giving you all these standards and preferences, cool. But if her first thing is, hey, these are the places I don't go, and this is what I'm not doing, just understand that's a money pit. You're not going to get any return on your investment.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You're not going to get any return on your investment. Now, if you dealing with somebody on the lower end of the spectrum, those individuals there is again not any, you know what I'm saying, getting return on your investment, because these are women that you know that your heart of heart don't meet your standards of what a woman that you want in your life.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is what we call the middle tier. These are women that are highly productive. They tend to, and all women come with something. These are
I mean,
women
all
who have,
men do too as well.
all men do too. Not gonna lie, do too. But these are the conversations that I'm having with the young bucks.
Mm-hmm.
Now these women in this middle tier, they done been through some stuff. They done seen something. And through all that, they still remain steadfast and focused on actually seeking out someone to love and someone to love them. But your investment with this woman here is not really going to be monetary, because modern woman, she most likely has her own. Your investment is going to be in quality of the person who you are and what you're going to be able to add to her life. Now, when I say they come with something, some of them come with a little attitude, some come with a pre-made family, but these are things you have to understand. These are the women that's going to actually be what you're looking for. These are the women that's going to add, you're going to add to them, and they're going to add to you. Now, you have to pick out of these middle tier women, which woman that's your woman that you're going to invest in. Now, a lot of them, you're going to find some on the spectrum of beautiful. You know what I'm saying? You're going to find some on the spectrum of, you know what I'm saying, they're average women. I learned from an old school guy that if they start out beautiful, a lot of times they don't end up beautiful. If you get you one who's in that progression, she's gonna always be beautiful. She starts out here, she creeps into this woman, she finds herself in her late 20s, boom, boom, boom. Now she's understanding little things from the beauty standpoint. You know, I'm saying this is just something that the old guy told me. But you know, almost like the ugly duckling syndrome. But you those women on those scales. But these middle tier women, these are the women that you should do all, I believe all men, the richer men and the 9 to 5 guys who got a good paying job, who's understand, they should dwell in the women in this area. These are the women that's going to make good wives. These are the women that's going to make good mothers. These are the women that's going to be someone who you can count on. And because at the end of the day, that's all it's about. Finding someone that you can count on, that you can lean on, and vice versa, she can lean on you. Because everybody talk about 50-50. There's no such thing. I'm not giving half of nothing. Either I'm gonna give 100 and you give 100, or it's not gonna happen.
I mean, it's never 50-50 and it's never 100-100. Sometimes
Yeah, but I'm talking about
70-30.
I'm talking about the effort. I'm talking about the effort.
Yeah,
I'm not talking
okay.
about. I'm talking about the effort, because that's what marriage is. It's effort. Are you willing to get up to date and give 100% effort in maintaining this relationship?
Well, yeah, I mean, even then, it's not always 100, because sometimes, sometimes you got them days, bro. You got them days, them week where you just like, oh, boy, I don't know if I can do this. This, but it's hard. But you have those
Yeah,
days. You have those days when you're at work where it's like,
yeah,
man, I can't stand this job. I hate these
yeah,
people. Bro,
yeah,
I just
yeah.
want to go home, eat a bucket of ice cream, and climb my ass in the bed because I can't stand none of these people.
Can't stand.
But it be like that sometimes. And so, but it's being aware, right? If you're
Yeah,
going through those motions, you're at 30% and you're unaware that you're at 30%, it could lead to issues, right? And you let your partner know, hey, look, I'm only at 30%. So you got to hold up the you gonna have to hold up the other 70% because I ain't got it. And you know, it shows up in arguments and
Yeah.
disagreements. And I think, was it Michelle Obama who said that her it was what, like, they've been married for 40 plus years, and she said about 10 years where she couldn't stand him. Obviously, like, she still love him, but it was some rough times in their marriage. And so that's 25%.
Yeah.
So if they've been married for that long, what makes you think that you're not gonna have issues in your relationship?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. There's always going to be pickup problem. My thought process of when I was saying was that you, if you're not willing, if you're because you got if you have any reservations about being with somebody, you know what I'm saying? Any. I don't care if it's 5%. So if you're not 100% into being available for that person, then it's not. That's my thing. You can't have a relationship with you saying, "Hey, to me, 50%. I think I'm 50% into this person today." You can have your ups and downs. You can have your disagreements. You can have your when you don't like somebody. But if somebody comes to you and say, uh, "Would you give this person up for anybody else? Your person up?" You gotta be unequivocally saying no. And you could only be that if you're 100% into being there for that person.
Mhm.
That's just my thought process. Now, you know what I'm saying? The uplifting and being strong. Well, yes. Some days I'm gonna be down. I'm gonna be emotionally down. I need you to carry this weight a little bit today. I need you to stand strong and stand pat for me today. And vice versa. Financially, I'm down. I need you to hold on 30. I need you to carry 60% of it today or this month. All I got is 30. You know what I'm saying? I got laid off. I got a little savings, you know what I'm saying? But I need you to hold it down till I get another job and do this here. That's how I see it. But if you're not 100% into it to give to attempt to give your all, then what is it then? What exactly are you doing? Because you got to be willing. That's like a boxer. Boxing is 100% prepared. He's 100, but if he's not 100% willing to get into that ring and there's any reservation, he gonna get knocked out.
Mm-hmm.
He gonna get knocked out.
Yep. So the last one that I want to discuss is probably one that is probably the most controversial of all of them.
Mm,
And I'm gonna kind of tie one in that to this that's not really on this list, but it's one that I think is important.
yeah.
The last one is social media attention, social media addiction, and social media presence. And what I mean by presence, because its presence is not one on here, is, and this one might cause some controversy, but I'm gonna say it anyways. The addiction to social media, or the always paying attention to social media, is one thing, because it invites a lot of things into your relationship that is not always, it's likely not going to be healthy. Granted, there are some great social media content creators out there who push a positive message, who want to see men and women, be successful in their relationships. But
Yeah.
there's a lot more that push a lot of negative stuff, right? And granted, their intentions may not even necessarily to be negative, but and they're speaking their truth per se, but it influences people to in their own life, especially if it validates what they're going through. And so
Uh-huh.
that may not always necessarily be the healthiest thing. So, but that's one side. The side that I'm talking about that is controversial is when I go on social media. So going back when I was dating,
I
right?
already
Before I
know.
got married, when I met a young lady, or I was swiping right and we matched, the first thing I do This was me personally. The first thing I would do is, especially like when I don't know what Tinder is like now, but back when I was on Tinder, your Instagram would be linked on there at the bottom. And so I would go out to the Instagram and I'm looking at your pictures. First thing I'm looking for, right?
It's the booty
Is
shot.
no. The first thing I'm looking for is, do you smile in any of your pictures?
Oh man.
Right? So, because I'm looking to see, do you smile in any of your pictures? Then I'm looking to see what kind of pictures you're taking. Is it, a lot of the pictures with the butt? Is it the duck face? Um, you know, are, your positioning in the pictures. And
Yeah.
then the last and third thing is, what are you wearing? What are you wearing in your pictures? And
Yeah.
it would, these three things, I later on learned that, there's probably more things that I should be paying attention to. Like I never paid attention to, if you were taking pictures in different countries and all traveling and doing all that other stuff, because all that stuff wasn't important to me. Because, being in the military and being a military brat, I grew up traveling all over the place. So, I didn't make the connection to that being whole activities, right? Um,
Yeah.
but a easy disqualifier was like if you don't smile in your pictures, because to me, you should have something to smile about in your life, right? But
Yeah.
number two was the duck face and the booty shots. Immediately screams hoe or promiscuous woman. And then the type of clothes that you were wearing. I knew that if we matched, then that means you had some sort of interest in me, and I knew how to qualify you based off of those things. Whether I knew that whether it was a potential for us to have a relationship down the road, or if I should just put you in the smash only category. I'm not really trying to spark up a relationship with you. I'm just trying to get in where I can fit in. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
And so I think that those two things, right? How much attention you're paying to social media and what your social media presence is
Mhm.
can be a huge red flag.
Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yes. It's one of the biggest to me. That's top one. That's top one. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You could, you know what I'm saying, because this social media is like, especially IG and TikTok and all this other stuff. This is truth serum. If you're looking for a quality woman and you own here and she exhibits things that happens on social media, that lets you know her quality. Now they're gonna deny it. Oh, no,
I'm
no
doing
woman
it for
don't.
me.
Yeah, yeah. No woman don't want is going to admit that their quality is kind of aligned with their social media presence. But here's one of those things, and I'm glad this one came up at this time. Last week I told you about a woman puts forth her best quality. In social media, her whatever a woman's best quality, that's what it's going to be. If she's a smart woman, her lot of stuff is going to be talking about this and improvements in this and doing other stuff, things that she's learned. And, you know what I'm saying? Those are interesting women. But don't you know that I would say about 60% of the women, they don't even communicate on their social media? They have nothing to say. You
I
look
don't
at
know.
you look at the social media and you look at it. It's this, it's playing their hair, showing their buttocks, showing their chest, but they have nothing to say. They don't say nothing. It's a video of them walking away to show their thick thighs and big butt, but they have nothing to say. They literally have all 95% of, and if they do say something in their videos, it's a voiceover of it. So they're using a voice thing, and the voice is saying something. They just moving their lips, but they have nothing to say. So a woman who is using that platform to, this is just for me, using that platform just to show off physical assets is not a woman that's going to be inviting enough to be with. Because at some point, I'm going to want to talk to you.
Well, I mean, let's be fair. There are some who doesn't leave very much to the imagination who do have the ability to speak, and they can hold a conversation. The question that I would ask is, for what reason do you have, and obviously they don't owe me an explanation, or they don't owe
Mhm.
these guys an explanation, but if you're wanting to seriously have a relationship with somebody, or maybe you just you like the attention, and you don't care one way or the other, and you want casual, just like a guy wants casual, then okay, cool. But if you're seriously seeking a relationship, why would you put yourself out there like that?
It's the honeypot. I want to lure as many guys as I can to look at me. I'm going to look through them. Ah, that's the cute one. Bam. All right, I got the cute one. So I got you. Now I'm going to tantalize you with these pictures. I'm going to, tantalize you with something else, later to grapple you in. Then I'm going to turn around and say, hey, I want commitment. Hey, I want this from you. Hey, I want that. It's the honeypot.
So
That's
what you're
that's
saying is it's the wrong attention.
Yes, it is. It's the wrong attention because they're trying that is the woman's new filtering system. Now she's not gonna go out because she don't want to be like, oh, I'm looking at that man, I'm dating, I'm hollering, I'm talking to this man, they see me with another man. So I'm gonna set the thirst trap. I'm gonna bring all the attention to me. All right. Now, because you can look, you can if you I look at the messages. People laugh. I say I look at the messages. You have tons and tons and tons of beautiful, you're this, you're that, what is it, this, and oh my God, you're such an amazing woman. Boom, boom, boom. Can I DM? Can I PM? Can I this? Can I that? Can I blah, 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 blah. That's their filtering system. So they look at the ones, they go down, they look at the ones. Ah, now if a guy like me who get on there because I am an antagonist, I'll leave a comment like doing it, I'll show a little ass, and so she gonna reply to me, mother, blah, 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 blah. She's gonna reply.
Well, hey,
I'm,
look, you be on there trying to start fires.
yeah, she's gonna reply to me. She's not gonna reply to none of the beautiful, you know what I'm saying? If guy's cute, she might like it. I'm saying, but she's not gonna reply to none of the beautifuls, all the sexy, blah, 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 blah. But my comment, because it's not, saying how beautiful it is, or I'm questioning the validity of it and asking why, she's gonna respond to it. So but that's the filtering system. The social media is the filtering system. So now I can hide my interaction so you can't say that I'm this and I'm that. I'm answering, there's about 8 guys in my DMs that I'm answering and I'm talking to. But I can go out in public and saying no one has access to me. Well, they do have access to you. You're communicating via DM. That's the woman's thing when they talk to me. Ain't no man that's touched this. Ain't no man can get close to this. No, they are. It's just you're having access to it and no one could actually see it. But within our days, you know what I'm saying? If you wanted to go kick it with a guy and talk to a guy, you had to actually be in that guy presence in the
You had to go
890s, early
outside.
2000s. You had to go outside. Oh, damn, dog. She was just with Terry last week. Oh, damn, she talking to Michael this week? Oh. So then you'd be like, well, shit, I know what kind of guy Terry is. But yeah, me too. Mike did the same. Yeah, Mike be getting them. But see, we can't have those talks anymore because now we don't see Mike and Terry or Daniel or anybody because it's all in the phone and in these pictures. And the only time we get to know who the person is when she feels slighted and she wants to expose them.
Yep. So, with that being said, do you think that women like that who fall within those particular categories, because obviously not all women fall into those categories, But do you think the women that fall into those categories know the difference between sexual attraction and relationship attraction?
They don't. They don't. Because the first thing, if you ask about, I got plenty. God, dog, I almost got a crook in my neck. The first comment be like, I got plenty of men that's willing to pay my bills, that's willing to do this and do this for me. No, they in your DMs because they seen you shake your butt in front of the phone, and that's what they like. And so they're not saying, man, she could be an awesome mother shaking all that tail fella. But they don't see it. They don't see it that way. They just see it as attention. They just see it as, oh, I could have opportunity. They don't realize these guys don't want you for something serious. If they're coming on the of you shaking your butt and you showing off your butt, walking away, they're not. A man is not looking at them and saying, "Man, I can grow a business with this woman here. Man, we could become a power couple and make some investment in real estate, raise kids together." What they're thinking is, I sure would like to hit that. Well, you don't know what I can do to that. And but they don't get it. All they seeing is that, hey, I got this guy who's showing me attention, and it looks like he liked me. And he's telling me he'll take me out. He'll do this. Yeah, ladies.
Telling them the beautiful lies.
Ladies, a man to get into where he needs to get in, he'll play the role of a pastor. He'll play the role of a UN peacekeeper. He'll do whatever he has to do to get there. And you think because guys playing the long waiting game, yes, we'll play the long waiting game. We'll if we sticking around more than 2 months, I mean, my bad, more than a month, we're gonna be here until. Now, the thing is that until this allows you the opportunity to show me if you really worth what you're looking for me to stick around long term after that. But if you're not, and you just make me wait, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna do the flowers. I'm gonna take you to dinner. I'm gonna show up at your little boy's football game, basketball game. I'm gonna run to Dairy Queen to pick up the ice cream for you when you call me from home, telling me you this and that. I'm gonna do all that.
Oh no, you're doing too much.
Now I'm just saying. And once it happens, yeah, my whole demeanor gonna change. And that's what usually happened to him.
Mm-hmm.
That's what usually happened to him.
Yeah, but
And then
all of that
then
stuff is a
that's
little
when
bit too much.
but then that's when you get the all men ain't crap. You know what I'm saying? Men are this here.
Mm-hmm.
Because she thought that she was doing it the right way. I got him to come in with the booty pics, but now I'm gonna show him I'm a good woman. And so he's looking like, well, man, that's loose woman activity right there. And you trying to make me be the one to, okay, whatever. All right, I'll stick around for a minute, hot minute. And I'm gonna do that. But then after, it's not the most amazing experience that I've ever had, where it's mind blowing and it's just average. You're gonna get the switch. You're gonna get the what you doing, man. I'm about to go play 2K with the boys. We gonna come by today when I wasn't planning on to. I'm gonna see you this weekend. Well, I got some plans with the homies. Just 2 weeks ago, yeah, I'm gonna be there. And that didn't lie. What I say the problem with is that it's the choosing. That social media is the true serum today. It
Yeah.
is. It's the true serum and it's the biggest lie. Because you can be whoever you want on social media.
So if when I looked at your profile, I saw promiscuous activities, my assumption was you were an active participant. So will I. And then, as the saying goes, all right, so what happens now after we done smash and dash? Have you done enough? Have you said it? Do I see anything else potentially happening? Sure. And you know what? We can do it. We can do more than one time. But you're on a short leash for your ability to prove that you can be of any value to me going forward beyond us just smashing and dashing. It might be one of the bigger red flags that guys need to pay attention to when they're vetting somebody, because you can't get enamored by physical beauty and the boobs and the butt and all of those things, and she's presenting herself online as a freak when you're in that at that stage in your life where you're looking for a long-term relationship. Now, if you're looking for something casual, boom,
Right there.
chase all you want. But if you're looking for something long-term and you're looking for a real relationship, that might not be the person. Not saying that it can't be and that it won't be, but you need to be on guard that
On guard.
that person may not necessarily be the one to for you based off of their online presence.
Exactly. Exactly.
I will tell you a quick story, one that kind of grossed me out a little bit. So I don't know what, I think I was on Instagram the other day, and somehow, you know how when you go to the homepage and it just kind of like shows you a bunch of random stuff? The need for attention can't be that great.
Yeah.
But Big G,
What's happening, baby?
we've been at this thing for about a good hour and a half, so I think we reached a good stopping point.
Yes, indeed, baby. Good conversation tonight.
All right, so as you know, let the people know where they can find you.
Hey, man. Wise and Smart 22 on the gram. Hey, yesterday I had problems with Wednesday isms due to the fact I ain't have my truck. The isms on Wednesday always gonna be inside the big red truck. Due to the fact that I ain't have my truck, I had to drop $1,000 on a one little single sensor. God. So I had to get that fixed. But I dropped my ism today, Wednesday ism on
Yeah,
Thursday.
I saw your ism. You trying to fight somebody, bro.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
You try to fight somebody.
Well, like I'm saying, this whole month is all about, what I'm saying, the good and bad with religion and Christianity. You know what I'm saying? It's the good and bad with religion and Christianity. And what are we doing? Why is the evilness, it has a stronghold in the Christian faith? You know what I'm saying? It goes way back through the Crusade times, and I broke down different little time zones about how it is. I'm just asking questions. You know what I'm saying? How's the fact that under the Christian thing, there's a lot of, what I'm saying, peace stuff going on with Christian leaders. But it's just one of those things. I just asked the question, and like I said last week, after the month of October is over, we moving on to love, because that's my birthday month, November. So we move on to love. Wednesday isms is strictly about the good and the bad and what it comes with religion, especially because I only know Christianity. I'm not versed in other religions, Muslim, Jewish, and other than that. So I can only speak about Christianity. But those are Wednesday isms. They are, to me, they are thought provocative. They make you think. Because I'm just like my boy Dane Calloway. I'm just here to make you think. I'm not trying to sway. You know what I'm saying? I'm a Christian, but these are questions that I had inside of me for a long time, and I'm just bringing them out.
Well, listen, don't be out there starting fires all over the place, because sounds like you just want action.
Just want
But
action. I am an antagonist.
all right, so if you guys want to check out Big G's isms on Wednesdays, make sure you go follow him on Instagram at Wise and Smart 22. Make sure you drop him a DM letting him know where you found him so that he knows to add you. And I see you want to
And
add some.
hey, we have, you know what I'm saying, since we've been doing this, I've gotten about, so people are watching to the end. I've gotten about 35 to 40 DMs and requests. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, nice.
I sent out the disclaimers and let them know, hey, if this is not the place for you, don't stick around. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to get counsel. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I got about 30, 35 to 40 new members on the isms, and yeah, they be watching.
All right. Hey, I'm glad to hear that, man. And as you guys know, the book is available on Amazon, Aligned Love. the modern guide to finding and building fulfilling relationships. It is a tool to be used if you are single, dating, you're recently out of a relationship, whether it's divorce or just broken up, and you're looking to get back into the dating space, seeking long-term relationships. It doesn't go super in depth into one particular category. If there's something you find in here interesting that you want more information on, there's plenty of other information that goes more into depth, but it's something to get you thinking about your situation and how you can improve your dating life. Just to let you guys know, I do one-on-one coaching services. If you're interested in that, then hit me up on Instagram at the Personal Alignment Lab. Again, that's the Personal Alignment Lab. Or you can go out to my website, www.personalalignmentlab.com, and request a discovery call there. It's free, 30 minutes. We can talk about what you're going through and kind of set up a plan for you to receive coaching services. So, with that being said, Big G.
Sayonara, my people.
All right. See y'all next week.
Yes, indeed.